Immigration is a never-ending catalyst for political debate and has existed in the USA since its inception. Today, tensions continue to rise as uncertainty for the immigrant population is of concern under the unpredictable Trump presidency. Nationwide, approximately 11 million unauthorized immigrants live in the United States, and roughly 511,000 undocumented immigrants reside in Illinois, with a concentration in the city of Chicago. So what are immigrant communities like in the sanctuary city of Chicago? How are they given support? To explore, let's head on over to one of the more densely populated areas with immigrants, Little Village. Our first stop is at the Little Village Chamber of Commerce.
The Little Village is well known as the Mexico in Chicago for many folks. It's not just Hispanic, it's very, very Mexican. This is a place where you come and get your Mexican fix, as I call it. We got 110 restaurants, very unique, very traditional restaurants. You don't even see those type of restaurants in Mexico because we inherited the first generation of immigrants that came here, and that's where it stopped. You walk into a traditional restaurant and you're going to see stuff you don't even see in Mexico because it's like stuck in real Mexican traditions. Well, it's a well-known fact that Little Village contributes a lot of money to the Chicago economy. This is a thriving business community. This is our hard-working community, and we not only generate business, but we generate a lot of employment and a lot of wealth to our community. When President Trump first took office, people were afraid to come out and shop normally. They just shopped on the basic necessities. There was a big push for people not coming out. People were afraid, and there's a big scare because of the scare tactics he imposed, and people bought into it and social media stuff. But we got over it. The chamber came out and said, look, it's all phony stuff. He's not doing anything, especially in Chicago. We have the commitment of the city and the police department. Nothing was going to happen in Little Village. So we launched a Shop Local campaign, which helped out to reboot the economy here in Little Village, and everything's back to normal since then.
Next up, we will look at El Instituto de Progreso Latino, which stands for Institute of Latin Progress. They offer programs such as economic and workforce development services, adult basic education, and citizenship classes for those interested within the community area.
Bueno, el Instituto de Progreso Latino es un nombre original de cuando fue organizado como para dar clases especialmente a la gente que no había tenido estudios en su país, y fue ubicado aquí en Little Village. Tenemos muchos programas que están creciendo en esta época y dando servicio a la necesidad más grande de nuestra población, de nuestra comunidad latina. Siempre es un reto para nosotros año tras año de tener abierta esta institución, porque tenemos que escribir los grants. Los grants significa pedir fondos para que así las personas que vienen acá a recibir los servicios pues sean gratuitos por ser una organización non-profit. Es que siempre se van a dar cuenta que nunca va a terminar los inmigrantes que tienen dificultades en su país en el aprendizaje de su propio idioma. Lo hablan perfectamente, pero no lo pueden escribir. Eso es el gran inconveniente porque no tenemos fondos para español. ¿Quién va a dar aquí en Estados Unidos dinero para solventar las necesidades del estudio de su primer idioma, que es el español?
Immigrants have also found support in their faith, with many seeking refuge in churches.
This church congregation in Chicago is made up of nearly all undocumented immigrants and refugees.
One of the many religious congregations that provides the immigrant population with solidarity are the Sisters of Mercy. On February 27th, 2018, 8 Sisters of Mercy were arrested as they participated in nonviolent civil disobedience as part of a Catholic Day of Action with Dreamers held in Washington, D.C. 2 sisters in particular who have devoted their lives to immigration are Sister Pat Murphy and Joanne Parrish.
Sisters Joanne and Pat are amazing women. Their story of their work for more humane treatment of those who are detained should be inspiration to everybody. And their commitment to this work, their ideas about what pastoral care is and what is needed in a detention center or a prison is so much more enlightened than what our procedures are, what the procedures at those institutions are. They recognized the lack of humanity, and they tried to fill it.
Students at St. Xavier University, a Mercy institution, have decided to carry on their legacy by participating in the Broadview Detention Center prayer vigils.
For Broadview, we start really early in the morning. We meet in Regina Hall at 6 a.m. We then hop onto the shuttle. I kind of give it about 20 minutes or so before we start talking and diving into the facts about why people come to this country, kind of going beyond the statistics and numbers and really going into why someone would come to this country, leaving behind all that they know. And we really tried to make it in a warm and safe environment so students and faculty and professors feel comfortable learning, but also sharing their own stories, just starting their Fridays with a challenging subject. We end up showing up at the Broadview Detention Center. I prepare people on what to expect. When at Broadview, we pray the Rosary most Fridays, except the first Friday of each month. It's an interfaith visual, so we do a combination of different religions and languages, and it's really just like a beautiful way to see the community come together and show support for one another.
Raise your hand, Francisco. Last June, he was in this place about to be deported. He was able to be released and be with his son, his wife, and his son was born. Put a round of applause for Francisco.
Going with students is never the same experience. We do the same things, but there are different people every time. There are different social contexts every time. It's transformative in the sense that feelings are touched so deeply. Students who may not have experienced immigration injustice in their families or their lives, they can understand better and empathize more with people who are affected by immigration injustice. And then for students who are already affected by and aware of immigration injustice issues, it certainly gives them a sense of affirmation of their identity and their lived experience. Debriefing when we go back and talking about how we feel as well as how we think are all incredibly powerful.
We shall overcome. We shall overcome. We shall overcome someday. Oh, deep in my heart, I do believe we shall overcome. This